Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a different type of YouTube style video. I guess, same type. But this one, we are going to be going over the difference between a credit card and a debit card. If you've seen some of my other videos of my net worth tracking, you see I have a lot of credit cards. And basically, we're going to be going over what the difference is between them and which one that you should use. This is not advice in any way, and this is not financial advice. This is just some of the differences. I'm going to go over some of the benefits, some of the pros, some of the cons of both. Completely up to you, just so you can be more informed. Some people do not know the difference, and that's totally okay. This is a main reason why I wanted to create this channel, so that I can share my knowledge, and so we can go over which one's, for you, which one's better, and which one you should be using, which one you should cut back on. So let's get into this really quick. Here's a quick overview. So for the debit cards, it is linked directly to your checking account, and it uses your money right away. So if I go and pay, if I have $5 in my account, I'm allowed to use $5 only. That's all I have to me. Now, if you're using a credit card, you're technically borrowing from a lender. So in this case, let's say I have a Chase credit card. I have $2,000 in my credit limit. I'm allowed to borrow $2,000 even if I only have $5 in my checking account. So already with that framework, you can see why credit cards can be a bit dangerous. But moving forward, here are some of the key differences. So your checking account, as we mentioned is linked to your checking account. Sorry, your debit card is linked to your checking account. The credit card, also as mentioned, is connected or linked to a line of credit. So, they lend you $5,000 as your credit limit. That's the most sure amount to put on that credit card. Going down over to your spending limit. For debit cards, it's your account balance. You have $10, you have $10. Nothing more, clearly less, but that's the max you can use. Whatever is in your account is the most you're able to use. But for a credit card, it is your credit limit. $5,000 is the most you can spend. You can only put $10 on it for all I care, but you can max it out with $5,000, but you shouldn't do that. For monthly bills, debit card, there's nothing. I mean, whatever you have is what you spend. For monthly bills on a credit card, it is put as your statement balance. That's how much that you are supposed to spend without incurring any interest. And then going over to interest charged debit card, again, no, it's another benefit. There's no interest. There's no dangers of that. It's just whatever you own. And going back to the credit card, yes, there is interest if you do not pay your full balance. That is the biggest thing. People typically get credit cards. They like to either max it out or put too much on it, and they want to pay back at the minimum. That is not the proper way to spend them. You will be paying interest for a very long time, and it is why credit cards can be so dangerous. And then finally, building credit. Debit cards, no, you're not borrowing anything really, so you won't be, building your credit. And with credit cards, you will be if you use them responsibly. If you don't pay them back, if you owe too much, then it could damage your credit. There's a lot of factors to it, but pardon me. Moving on, we're going to go over a quick overview of debit card pros and cons. So some pros, it's a simple use and it's good for budgeting. So if you know you're allotted a certain amount of money, you can only use that certain amount of money. So for debit cards, let's say you only have $500 on that card. That's all you can spend. You can't go over. And that's a good way for you to manage your money in a better way. No debt or interest. As we mentioned before, $500 is your max. You can't overspend on it, or you can overdraft. No, but you can't overspend on it. You can't have $500 in your account just to spend $2,000. You'll be good. There is no interest involved as well. And another pro would be that it is directly tied to your checking account. What you spend or what you have is what you are allowed to spend. You can't go overboard. You can't go crazy on it. Some of the cons. There's no impact to your credit score. Depending on who you ask, credit is a very important part of being an adult. It allows you to do a lot of things. You get lower interest rates, whether you're trying to get a house, trying to get a car. That's one of the biggest factors in this country. It's your credit score. There's less fraud protection. Funny enough, well, not funny. My mom recently had an issue with her card, and she had over $1,000 taken from her. So that's something that's, kind of hard to work around. With credit cards, you do have a lot more protection on that. And finally, cons can be declined if you do not have enough money in your account. Say you really need to get something. Say you're buying groceries, you're in dire need of food. Sometimes if you just don't have enough money, it will decline. So that is a con. But it's all about scenario based. And now, did I skip over one? I did. Over to credit cards now. Here's some of the pros. Again, it does build your credit history if you use them correctly. By that I mean spending as much as you actually have, paying back a certain amount each month, the actual statement balance so you do not pay interest, making your payments on time. Late payments will hurt your history, and just overall being smart with it. I know that's very vague. I will go over some more proper credit card tips, hacks, however you want to call it. Another one, some offer credit card rewards. My favorite one is, there's a typo. Anyways, my favorite one is, I have an American Express card. One time I took a trip to Detroit with my cousins. We went to go watch a wrestling show. That whole hotel that we had, I paid for completely in points. Not a single thing came out of my pocket. So that is one of the reasons I love credit cards and their points and their benefits. If you use them correctly and you don't allow all that interest to build up, you pay them off correctly, you use it smartly, they can be extremely useful. They're, a multi-tool that you can use for a lot of different things, whether it's hotels, flights, discounted gift cards. I do like using that sometimes. And of course, strong fraud protection. There's a lot of times someone just, gets your information. That's just how it is. With credit cards, they offer strong fraud protection. If you did not make that purchase, you will not be held liable for it. And that's a good way to feel secure and safe with your, with your card. Some of the cons, I even am a victim to this first one. You can be a gateway to overspending in debt. When I was in college and I graduated, I had over $6,000 I had to pay back on my same American Express card. Now it's all handled. I paid it back. I was smart with it. I did pay interest on it, which sucked in the moment, and it still sucks now thinking back on it that I went back on the very principle that I swore I never would go on. But it was a good lesson. Now I know not to spend that much, not to spend what I don't have, and now I'm in a much better spot now that I've actually been in that scenario myself. Here's another one: high interest if not paid in full each month. Again, I would go through the months incurring, started off at like $60, $50, then it'd go up to $100. And that was worryful. It was extremely stressful for me. But we got to the point where on all my credit cards, on all my things, I owe nothing in interest. So that's something I can look back at and be proud of, that I dug myself out of that hole. And with the right mindset, I can be where I am now, being able to go over some of the differences. So some of you people, if you watch this and you understand this and you actually take it into account, you won't ever have to pay interest on any of your credit cards. And that's what makes me feel good. This is why I do all this. And again, it can damage your credit score if not used properly. If you spend $20,000 on your credit card, you can't pay it back, and you don't pay it back, you're screwed. I'm sorry. It's tough. You can definitely come back from it, but it's extremely dangerous to play with. And that's why you need to be correctly informed on how to use these. Otherwise, it can ruin your life. So be wise with them, and you have to know what your limit is personally. So finally, not financial advice, but which one should you use? Should you use a credit card or should you use a debit card? Well, if you're budgeting and you're trying to avoid debt, just use a debit card. It's the easiest way to do it. You're not borrowing any money. You're using whatever money is yours. If you're looking to build credit, maybe make an online purchase, or if you're just trying to earn rewards, use a credit card. It can be extremely useful. Like I said, if used properly, this is a great weapon, but it can also harm you a lot. So just be careful. This varies person by person. If you don't want to borrow any money, just stick with a debit card. But I think if you slowly start to branch out and start testing it, then I think credit cards are extremely useful. There's a lot of benefits. Again, it can be extremely dangerous, but if you're really smart with your cards, you will be just fine. So choose wisely. You have to understand your limits and your goals. If you just want to go out and just pay everything in cash, that is totally fine. There are a lot of gurus. I know Dave Ramsey's one who hates, like, do not loan any money, do not borrow anything, do not get yourself in a single ounce of debt, pay everything in cash. There's all the people, I personally, this is all from my love when I started watching Graham Stephan. That's the reason I got into credit cards. Be extremely useful, maximize all your points, and as you don't need to use one or the other. You can combine them. For certain things, just use your debit card. Even if you're just trying to grow your credit score, you can put one purchase on a credit card every month, pay it off in full. You'll be just fine. That's all you need. I have personally around 9 or 10. You don't need that many. You really don't. You need maybe one. One, you're good. 2 or 3 to expand your horizons, but you don't need that many. You don't. Here's a bonus tip. If you want to start building credit, use a secured credit card. You basically put down a deposit, let's say $500. That $500 that you deposited now becomes your credit limit. So it's a very smart way to do it. You'll start building credit. I think the Discover It secured card. I know it's Discover, but Discover secured card, basically. That's a good one that I heard about. I never used it personally, but I did hear good things about it. And thank you guys for watching. I know this is really just me rambling. I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff. So if you found this helpful, please go ahead and share this with someone. Like the video, comment, and please leave a subscription. We're on our goal to 500 subs. So if you want to join me on this journey, I'd appreciate it. Again, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we're going to keep going on this upload streak. Let's see how far we can get. Thank you again.